What's up, y'all? It's LeBrad. I'm going to be doing a reading for Libra. Libra. Oh. Ace of Wells fell out in this pre-shuffle. So this is likely to be about romance, a love reading for Libra. Libra, of course, is the sign that deals with partnerships. And with the sun being in Libra, it should be highlighting partnerships in the lives of Libra right now. So it's a very good time to get a reading for Libra. It may be a romantic partnership. It could be a business partnership. But seeing the Ace of Wells, it looks like this is about new love for Libra. I have a lot of strong Libra placements, and there's a lot of chatter, a lot of activity going around in that area for me. So perhaps the same thing is happening for you. For me, I'm seeing a lot of, people from the past popping up, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that'll be the case for you. It could be someone from the past that you didn't necessarily see as a love as a love option who's popping back up. Perhaps it was like a very casual thing, and they're reaching out to you. But it could be a new love situation, someone that you have yet to meet that could be coming in, but we're gonna see. This reading is for Libra. Messages for Libra. Love messages for Libra. I'm going to be clarifying. Okay. This always it always pops up like this. This page of candles. This page of candles for me as a reader usually tells me, because what this card says is, if I can only get a good look at them, I can soon tell you who they are. So for me, looking at the person that I am reading often, it often will, the reading will connect to that person that I'm looking at. But I'm looking at myself because I'm filming and I can see myself here in the camera. And I am a Libra. I'm a Libra rising. So perhaps this message is going to resonate very strongly for people who have Libra in their rising sign. And we're getting the Five of Quills. The Five of Quills, the individual who prolonged, it is known. This beyond a doubt. He was seen to take it. It is known also that it still remains in his possession. Okay. So the Five of Quills is like the Five of Swords. They're usually like five people with their swords drawn, and they're like in the middle of the battle. This Five of Quills gives me the energy of people are talking. They are saying that you did something. They're saying that they have evidence about this thing that you did. And they're saying that it's almost like you stole something. Like this person stole something. We have it on camera, and they still have it with them. So it's like three parts to this kind of Five of Quills energy. And this is what people are kind of saying about you. It doesn't necessarily have to be true. This is what some people believe about you. There's like a lot of people who have like some things to say. I'm feeling like it's three people having this conversation around you. It may be that these three people have this it may have been a triangle, a love triangle that you were involved in, and people are kind of discussing that. It could be someone who you were involved in and one of their friends, like their friend is coming back to say something about you, right? Like someone who you were like involved with in the past, and their friend is telling them something. Like the friend maybe is near around and sees you and is saying something about you. I'm getting something like online, right? Like maybe a friend of an ex is saying like, "Oh, I seen them on Tinder. I seen them on, um, Grinder, right? Or they messaged me on Grinder, probably on one of their catfish profiles. They were out catfishing. They were out catfishing, and you maybe messaged them on one of the apps, and they're telling the ex that, right? Or the ex may be pushing someone up to message you. Something's going on like that. If I can only get a good look at them. So the page of candles usually is making some kind of announcement. Um, they're usually, coming in and say, "Hey, this is how it's going to be. This is what I'm doing right now." It's something like that. So there is like this message. So I feel like there's a message, something is said to you, and perhaps it is like that third party or like a friend of a friend. Something's going on there. Libra, Libra rising. Okay. So we got the Empress. It's kind of in the reverse. Um, but the Empress, it could be someone's mother. It says the angels whispering to one another can't find among their burning terms of love none so devotional as of the mother. So this Empress card is very strong maternal energy. Um, and it's the three. So with what I'm seeing, it could be kind of maternal energy. It's very interesting because last night, before I went to bed, I was kind of just smoking a cigarette, and I was outside in the parking lot, and kind of just thinking and things going to my head, and then I said something out loud. I said Rudyard Kipling, um, and as I said it, Kipling being like a philosopher, I kind of said it in reference to there's a Harry Belafonte song, um, and in this song he references a couple philosophers, Freud, Kipling. Maybe the song. Maybe you know the song. It's like a calypso song. It's the man Piaba and the woman Piaba. The lily root, gully root, and the famous granny scratch scratch, something like that. Um, but he says something like, "From the face, remove the grouch, put the body upon the couch." That's when he's singing about Freud, right? He says, "Your Rorschach show that you are peripatetic." I even think I have peripatetic in my um, uh, about section on my channel, which means like you move around a lot. But anyway, he references Kipling, and so when I said it, it was kind of like in that song, right? But then my mother this morning told me that she dreamed that in the dream, myself and a friend were quoting a poem. Now, what's interesting about that is when I was away from her, I was also quoting a poem to someone. But she says that I was quoting this poem called If by Rudyard Kipling. I think I've heard it before, but I wasn't so familiar with it. But it's very interesting that I just said Kipling, then she had a dream where I was quoting a poem from Kipling, and then and I had been actually quoting a poem to a friend the day before. A different poem I was quoting, Sophia Fashion Show by Maya Angelou. Hair pomaded, faces jaded, bones protruding hip-wise. The model strutted, backed up, then butted and stuck their mouths out lip-wise. They'd awful manners held like banners as they looked down their nose-wise. I'd see them inhale before they tell me one thing they're wearing clothes-wise. The black bourgeois who all say yeah, when yeah is what they're meaning, should look around both up and down before they step out preening. Indeed, they swear that's what I'd wear when I go country clubbing. I'd remind them, please look at those knees you got a Miss Ann scrubbing. You see my knees? See my knees? But anyway, yeah, so that was so interesting how all those things are kind of connected. But we have the mother showing up. So for Libra, there could be some things going around with the mother. Maybe your relationship with your mother is strained. I hear a lot of people keep saying that healing your relationship with your mother brings improvements to your romantic relationships, you know. And it's interesting because when you get involved with someone, you know, different people have different types of relationships with their parents. So you may get involved with someone who's very, very close to their mother. You may not necessarily be all that close to your mother, but then that creates like a different dynamic. I actually remember a few months ago seeing on Twitter someone making a comment that like, oh, if you don't have a good relationship with your family, then we can't date. And some people were like, well, that's kind of stupid because everyone doesn't have like a good relationship with their family. But what I'm getting is like healing that relationship. I'm getting the Judgment. This reading is looking very like it's resonating very strong with me because my mother's birthday is on the 20th. The Judgment here, someone making a judgment call. So we're getting like two strong major arcana energies. Let's go to apples to see for some clarity on the Empress and the Judgment. Clarity on the Empress. Clarity on the Empress. Some clarity for the Empress. Someone may be a Sagittarius. Someone may have a parent, particularly a mother who's a Sagittarius. I'm getting. Ellen DeGeneres on the Empress. 1958. Okay, so this is definitely my mother. She was born in 1958. Her birthday is on the 20th. And of course I'm looking at myself in this in my phone screen. 1958, comedian, actress, talk show host. She was also the voice of Dory in Finding Nemo. Remember? Something about memory. Something that someone could be experiencing like signs of early signs of dementia. Maybe they're a little repetitious, or they forget things. They're very forgetful. People with no rhythm. They may not be able to dance, but they sure are fun to watch. That sounds like a white person, right? People with no rhythm. Um, okay, and the judgment. Taco Bell. Taco Bell. There's a new Taco Bell that's opening up. Pointed explosive and binge watching. Viewing the last 3 seasons of a TV show in one evening. Put on a pot of coffee, find a comfy chair, and grab the remote. That's very interesting. That's very, very, very interesting. Yeah, I'm getting that. Okay, so a couple things. I'm getting that if you are LGBTQIA plus, that um, it could be that could be a part of the conflict that you have with the parent, with the Ellen DeGeneres. I know when I was younger and Ellen had the sitcom, I can remember specifically when Ellen came out that my parents would not allow us to watch Ellen the talk show anymore, and you know that didn't stop you know all of their kids from being homosexuals. So good luck with that one. Um, Rhythm. I'm getting something a rhythm. I get Rhythm Nation, Janet Jackson, but this says people with no rhythm. They might not be able to dance, but they sure are fun to watch. Um, Something about dancing here. Taco Bell, the Bell, live Moss, live more. So I'm getting this energy of like perhaps your parents tried to um, you know not allow you to be the expressive, to express yourself, like for whatever reason. Like perhaps it was, something, sexual orientation related that they wanted to suppress, but in that they end up like forcing you to suppress like your dynamic personality. So like maybe you can sing and dance and all of these things, and they didn't want you to necessarily do those things because it wasn't seen as like being a man or something like that. So they wanted to kind of suppress that, right? I'm getting sharp, keen, cutting, explosive, blasting, bursting, and dangerous. So, um, the thing about that, like suppressing, is that like you suppress something for so long, and then when it finally comes out, it's like explosive. So it may even be that like you suppress like your emotions completely. So like uh good and bad. So maybe like if there were times when you got angry, you weren't able to express your anger or your or being upset in a certain kind of way, and now you hold that in until it comes out in a very explosive way. And then binge watching. Binging is like a compulsion. It's like it's something very compulsive about binge watching. And so it may be right now that like you may be doing something where you're distracting yourself in a sense, like distracting yourself from something. But I'm also getting the judgment here. So the Empress and the judgment. Um, Certainly, this is like, it could represent a person. It says there was a loud blast as of a many trumpets. I'm getting that Taco Bell because I'm thinking bell and trumpet. You may be hearing the bell in your ear. There was a harsh grating as of 1,000 thunders. The judgment is like making a judgment call on something. It's almost like it's done. Like something that was left in the balance has now been. Because you think about the judgment day, there is the weighing of the heart, and it must be as light as a feather, right? And so that happens at the judgment. So the things that have been left in the balance have been weighed now. That weighing has happened. So someone has kind of made a decision. Let's go back. I thought this was going to be about that new romance. So what I'm getting is perhaps like something has to be resolved with the mother in order to move toward this new romance. So once that is resolved, once that situation is cleared out, what begins to happen next? The Five of Wells. The skies were as ashen and somber, the leaves were as crisp and sere. The leaves, they were withering and sere. It was a night in the lonesome October of my most immemorial year. Immemorial. Memorial is something that you remember, so immemorial means like, I guess, insignificant. But October is showing up here, and the Five of Wells is some kind of loss that happens in October. Um, so yeah, something happens in October. There's a loss that's happening in October. Something that is grieved. So whatever this kind of decision that's made, then there's a grieving that happens. We're in the month of October. That's what it's saying here on this card. Some kind of grieving situation. All right. And then we get the Nine of Candles. This Nine of Candles, usually in the Nine of Candles, you see the person with the bandana. They've been in the battle. Like the the Nine of Wands. They've been out there in this battle. And here it looks like they have been shot. Doesn't this look like somebody's been shot and the blood is like pouring out? I stand amid the roar of a surf tormented shore, and I hold within my hand grains of golden sand. Grains of golden sand, a surf tormented shore. Yeah, so this is like after the battle, wounded. This looks like someone is wounded, right? Um, and I'm getting blood, so it could have to do with family. It could be like a hurt from a family. So after the situation goes down, it could be feeling very hurt by your family or hurt by a family member or something going on with the family member. But this almost like this card looks like someone has been shot. And the Seven of Paws, there's some work here being done. It says, you should have seen how wisely I proceeded, with what caution, with what foresight, and with what dissimulation I went to work. So then it's like someone starts working, like they're in their very um like focused kind of energy of getting something done, like organized and planned. They have like a plan. So it's something there about kind of talking about this hurt, writing about this hurt, doing something, using whatever that pain is, like uh, planning something out. It could be, a lawsuit. It could be writing a book about it. It could be, I don't know, a lot of different things. But I'm getting like that you get to work on something. Let's go back to the apples to apples. Some clarity on these two. Clarity on this battered nine of candles. Godzilla, I'm getting again. Dwayne Johnson, 1972. American professional wrestler, aka The Rock. He flexed his action muscles in films like Jumanji and the Fast and the Furious franchise. So this sounds like a person. Um, Someone, maybe their name is Dwayne or Wayne or Johnson or John. Um, 1972 sounds like a significant year. Um, American professional wrestler. This could be someone who likes to fight, someone who maybe has like Aries energy. Um, he flexed his muscles. Flexing the muscles, someone who likes to thirst trap, perhaps. Fast and Furious franchise. They maybe drive a sports car. Jumanji and this Godzilla thing kind of resonate together. So something like a dinosaur, T Rex. That actually gives me a little bit of I don't know. Sometimes when spirit is speaking to me and like T Rex, I see like transsexual. Um, not for that to be offensive, but Godzilla. Maybe someone gets the wrath of God. This is like a film first introduced in 1954, often referred to as that guy in the rubber suit. That guy in the rubber suit. Um, Rubber suit. Someone and was no, The Rock wasn't in Baywatch, was he? Um, yeah, something about a swimmer here too. Something about on the beach. I'm getting. Let's see about this seven of paws. Too many cards for me. 800-pound gorilla. Um, that's interesting. 800-pound gorilla. It's very interesting to get Godzilla, 800-pound gorilla. What does the 800-pound gorilla sit anywhere it wants? um. So yeah, something about that is like just not letting anyone tell you what you can or cannot do. Um, and something about this rubber suit and like The Rock being a wrestler and wearing like those wrestler like bodysuits. It's interesting to me too. But this does seem like a person. This seems like a person who maybe it may be like a little bit aggressive towards you too. Um, with this 9 of candles, it's maybe somebody you had to fight against in the past. I'm getting like Capricorn energy, so it may be some Capricorn you had to deal with in the past, who was probably like a bit forceful and aggressive and not recognizing you as a very sensitive person, or whatever, and so it may be made for like a very difficult time. Let's finish the reading off with one more card. The Hanged Man. So waiting. There are two bodies, the rudimentary and the complete, corresponding with two conditions of the worm and the butterfly. And actually, this isn't waiting. This is like, this energy is giving me like the whole enlightenment. It's giving me, like, uh, activation. Is giving me, um, kind of coming out of your shell in a sense. So it feels like this is the breakthrough for you to start taking up the space that you need, and perhaps getting to the root of that has been about something that has to do with like childhood wounds, like from the mother, and like having done whatever was necessary to like break that, and then perhaps that brings in this like Ace of Cups, and so that's what needs to happen in order to get there. So there's work to be done. In a sense, there's things that need to happen. It feels like the thing that needs to happen needs to be the judgment on this kind of, whatever this situation is with the mom. However, whatever is kind of being like, you know, projected onto you, um, has to be resolved, and it has to mean like, calling judgment on it, and then it allows you to kind of move into this, um, this space where I feel like you can kind of shine a bit more. So that's what I got for you, Libra risings for the month of October. Hope that resonates. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. Share it with a Libra if you know one. All right. Peace.